Assalamualaikum and hi. Today our group will present about the connectivity of telecommunication services of first year student of FTSM. Firstly, we move on to the introduction. Courses related to computer science has been offered by University Kebangsaan Malaysia since the university was established in 1970. Today, FTSM consists of 100 faculty members that include 11 professors. The new FTSM campus is located at the second link of Unit KM Bangi. It has 8 building blocks, 2 lecture halls and 1 undergraduate center block. It also houses 3 research centers which are driven by experts in various fields of research. As a student of FTSM, online access is the most important resource besides face-to-face research. So, all students at FTSM should have good internet resources to find study material such as you can follow and Google Classroom. However, most students at FTSM has difficulty accessing the internet because some of the telecommunication services are very limited, or it may also be because the server is a bit slow and the faculty is limited to certain areas in FTSM. This has caused students to fail to access 4G internet while there are users reporting failure to make any phone calls. Internet access is especially important in learning nowadays. This issue had made some FTSM students feel a little overwhelmed because they can't do their job properly. As a result of the incident, some students have expressed dissatisfaction with the telco.
We choose our case study based on the problem statement as below. Firstly, is because FTSM is in an area with low phone coverage, therefore problem of connectivity arose. This is because of the location of FTSM. Students reported problems of internet connections and also telco line inside FTSM compound. Next is that Wi-Fi provided by the university cannot be used, especially during peak hour, where most of the students need to access the internet for the online study materials. This causes the difficulty for students to access study materials, which then affects them during their time in FTSM.
Next, we move on to the significance of study. There will be 2 groups that may benefit from the study. The first group will be the telecommunications company that claims to provide coverage along UKM and FTSM. As FTSM is non-faculty in UKM, telecommunications providers should make it their priority to make sure they can provide a very good connectivity of internet inside UKM, as all university students will be using internet for their studies, and having a good one from their services provider will guarantee whether these users will keep on being their customers. Next, for the second group will be the first year student that has never been in FTSM before. These studies could help them choose the best telecommunication provider from before entering UKM as a student. As students will always have financial problem, changing telecommunication frequently will be a hassle just to make sure they can get good internet connection during their study at FTSM. Next, we move on to the objective. From the problem statement, the objective for the project are: the first one is to understand the data set collected that shows what problems students are facing. Second, to analyze which telecommunication services provides the best connectivity in FTSM. And the third is to analyze which telecommunication service that can be the better choice for students to make a better accessibility of study material. So we move on to the scope. The scope of this project will be focused on dataset collected in FTSM, which are first year students. The attributes that will be collected are which metric numbers, courses, telco line use, accessibility of internet in FTSM compound, and difficulty to access study materials, as the dataset are related to know which students had connectivity problem in FTSM. 57 respondents are used to achieve satisfied result from the project.
So, data analysis technique that is used for our case study is clustering. Clustering is the task of dividing the population or data points into several groups. It aims to segregate groups with similar traits and assign them into clusters. So, we use this method, which is by we segregate the groups according to their courses, as each courses conduct classes at different spots inside FTSM. Therefore, we can cover more spots in FTSM where the connectivity of telecommunication level can be determined.
Assalamualaikum, and so now we are going to continue with the methodology for our project. So, literature review. Students nowadays must depend on internet connection to do their work, either to do tasks, assignments, and quiz. But internet connection is depending on the telco whether the coverage support that area or not. But we students, we use a lot of telco, not a lot of telco, various telco. So we do some surveys to find out which telco is the best and how telco or internet service affect studies. Okay, so we are going to continue. So how we do the data collection? Because our subject is first year student, so we only have a small data set and we use Google Form to collect the data. Why we use Google Form? Google Form is much easier because it can be accessed online and can be shared through WhatsApp or through email. What is Google Form? Google Form is an online survey that can be used as a personal or business, and Google Form also helps to sort the data to make it easier for us to collect the data. Okay, so data that has been collected have been processed. We use Tableau and Microsoft Excel to create a report from the data. Microsoft Excel is chosen to sort the table, while Tableau is an infographic chart. By using the data from the Microsoft Excel. Okay, so the data processing. With the aid of the tools, data that have been collected from Google Form can be continuing to analyze and process based on the objectives of this project. A report will be produced by using software, which is Tableau, after it being processed. Report can be accessed in the form of worksheet or in dashboard where it can be understood and used for this project. So, the tools that we have been used was Tableau. Tableau is basically a data visualization tools which provides pictorial and graphical representations of data. First, we need to have a data, and then we can apply the visual onto the software. So, why we use Tableau? The best thing about Tableau is that we can install it in free form internet to our desktop. So it's easier for us to access it as a student because we don't need to pay anything and it's easy to install. And last one, the Tableau can be connected to the other files such as Microsoft Excel and Microsoft Access. The data from the Excel that we use can be transferred to the Tableau and be converted. So this is the example of the Tableau logo, and this is how the representation of Tableau software. It will collect the data and it will convert it into an infographic chart. And the last tools that we use is Microsoft Excel. The benefit of Excel is Microsoft Excel helps companies maximize the value of their data, helping to control costs more effectively and obtain business information. So, that means it is used to create grid of stats, numbers, or formulas specifying calculation. Like we all know that our project requires to gather data from our form. So Microsoft Excel helps us to sort all the data. The other thing in Excel is that it can calculate user data and turn into new database on user command, for example sum, average, maximum and minimum. So the worksheet can be saved to the desktop and can be sent anywhere, just like WhatsApp, Telegram, email, and can be easily edited by online. Another way is the chart from Excel can be transferred to PDF format. So this is the example for the Microsoft Excel. So this is the logo for the software, and this is what we see if we use the Microsoft Excel, where there is a rows, sheet, columns, formula bar and tabs. This is where we need to sort our data, and we can easily use our formula in the formula bar. And lastly, it can be converted into a graph by only access it in the chart. That's all for me. Thank you.
First is Tableau. By using Tableau, user can transfer data from any files, such as Microsoft Excel, into the graphical data. The purpose is to make people understand the data easily. The best thing about it is it's easy to use. For sharing tools, there are two ways to share the data. First, share the link of the worksheet. Second is share the file of the user worksheet. If user share the files, the receiver need to install the Tableau reader into their desktop. And now, Microsoft Excel. For developer tools, user can put any data to manage the group of data easily. User can find the sum, average, maximum and minimum of the data by using command. If the user want to share their worksheet, they can share the file of the data and send it to the person that they want. The other way is user can share the data by using email through cloud storage, which is OneDrive.
Next is SWOT. SWOT stands for strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. For strength, it's easily compare and identify which data plan that have worse connectivity in FTSM. The data represented by visualize that can easily to understand. For weakness, the specific analysis problem could not be detected in detail because the bar only shows the main problem of analysis, and it would be difficult to read the data accurately. For opportunity, the short time to different which data plan have the best connectivity, and it create a bar or pie chart at least 4 categories of any problem analysis. Last but not least, for threats, is changing of data that make us hard to update any data or problem to be visualized.
So for the Tableau is the connectivity of telecommunication service of leisure student of FTSM. The first graph is the difficulty and easiness to access online study materials based on courses. There are computer science, information technology, software engineering information system, and software engineering multimedia. The second graph is the difficulty and easiness to access internet based on telecommunications. The pink bar is difficulty in accessing internet, while the purple bar is the ease of accessing internet. For the third graph is the accessibility of internet based on courses.
Next is for recommendations. Firstly, students should choose the best telecommunication services that are easy to access internet in any area. Secondly, students with slow internet access should change to telecommunication services that have better internet access. Thirdly, lecturers should share any ideas for managing the problem in order to have better access for online study materials. Next, management should incorporate into student problem of difficulty to access online study materials. Last but not least, telecommunication services should upgrade their internet access in specific areas so that it could help students to access online study materials much better. In addition, management should provide places with high-speed internet connectivity for students to study.
As for conclusion, based on the findings, several conclusions can be made regarding the connectivity of telecommunication in FTSM. The findings indicate that per se student does not have problem with the connectivity of internet in FTSM. However, they have problem accessing online study materials. This shows that even they can access internet on an FTSM compound, they still have problem accessing online material, which is important as most FTSM learning materials are available online. From the findings, we can conclude that users from Celcom and Maxis has the best connectivity inside FTSM as both telco providers have the highest user among first-year students. Telco that are using the same coverage as Maxis, which is Hotlink and Celcom such as Red One, True and Yes also have no problem accessing internet inside FTSM compound. So, from these findings, we can conclude that the best telco provider that can have a better connectivity and coverage around FTSM are Celcom and Maxis. And we advise students to choose the telco, thus helping in making sure they can access online material better. We also conclude that telco providers such as Mobile and Digi should do maintenance and improve coverage inside UKM campus.